I don't know about you, but I find it hard to focus on what game to play next. Every month that pile of shame gets bigger and bigger. I mean, we all have a pile of shame. The list of games you bought but haven't played yet. And you have every best intention to finally sit down and play it, but you never do. Instead, you might play a game with friends or something familiar, instead of playing something that's new. And that's where this poster comes in. This is the 100 Games Bucket List. Yes, the bucket list. The list I've found always causes a debate amongst gamers. This is the list that defines the top games ever made, or a game you just have to play. Apparently. I feel like there are games out there that I wouldn't normally steer to, but maybe this is the incentive I need to finally play these games. Now, I don't know what authority this particular list has over this decision. I agree with about 90% of these games. Also, they've got sequels, like, how can I play a sequel without having played the first game first? Also, some of these games can't ever be beaten, like they just keep going on and on, like World of Warcraft or League of Legends. I feel like I'm going to have to take some creative license with this list, slightly alter it in places, but we'll get to that later. Also, I'm going to play games I've already beaten before for the sake of continuity. So my aim is to play every game on this list. I mean, that's kind of self-explanatory. I either just play it for a bit, or I full on finish the game. Long as I've played it, then I can scratch it off this list and reveal the pretty achievement underneath. So as I was looking around to what game to tackle first, which was a daunting decision on its own, one game took my attention instantly. Super Metroid. I've been really keen to try and play this game series for a really long time now, and I've been a distant fan as well. A distant fan, by the way, is one that respects the material without ever interacting with it. I've no idea if that's real or not, I just made it up. And I've played a bit of Metroid Prime 2 and I got stuck. Probably should have played the first one first. I even attempted to play Super Metroid about 5 years ago and got heavily frustrated by the lack of information and constant guesswork, so I put it down. But no more! I shall beat this game, sir. So let me tell you a bit about Super Metroid and whether it deserves to be on this list. Released in March 1994 for the Super Nintendo, developed primarily by Nintendo, is a Metroidvania-style game. In fact, the Metroid series helped create and define the genre. And this third installment is about our hero Samus on a quest to get back the stolen Metroid. Again, I probably should have played the originals for context. Oh, wait, it's okay, because the game does that for you by giving you some backstory over the original NES game and the Game Boy sequel. So yeah, you land on the planet Zebes, where the first game is set, and you just explore, which is what this genre is all about. You walk somewhere, you find a block pathway, you go somewhere else to find an upgrade or a key to get you through the block pathway, you travel around, slowly upgrading your arsenal, turning you into a badass. Modern similarities are Hollow Knight and Axiom Verge, and I've played both of them, and I gotta say, this one is actually pretty good. The game on Super Nintendo looks great, even with its graphical limitations, and it controls pretty well, which doesn't surprise me being made by Nintendo themselves. I grew up playing 3D games on the N64, and for me, 2D platformers have always been difficult to get to grips with. It sadly doesn't come naturally to me, but I didn't struggle that much with this game. It starts out a little stiff, but you kinda just end up flowing around the map as time goes on, taking out bad guys as you go. Mix that with a vast array of boss battles, the game really keeps you on your toes. The soundtrack also helps set the atmosphere of this alien-infested planet. Each region has its own defining music track to add that sense of dread when needed. I've actually really enjoyed playing this game. It's aged really well, and I found it a welcome challenge. If I can just angle a... Nice. And oh my god! And there are tons of secrets to uncover and explore. Until I hit a huge brick wall. Sometimes literally. And that's when the veil has lifted to reveal this game's ugly secret. It's so damn cryptic. You can barely play for about 15 minutes before you hit a dead end. Like, the game does not help you at all. I once spent ages travelling around everywhere I could to find out that the secret was hidden behind this very ordinary wall that I apparently had to blow up. And apart from the map giving me a very small hint, how would you know? It's like the game goes out of its way to bring the fun to a full stop. It's terrible game design, and it's frustrating that people are so quick to forgive it. It's like everyone's blocking out the bad times for some reason. I don't know. Like, I'm not expecting the game to hold my hand, but you don't have to be this hidden. And unless you've played this game before, you wouldn't know half the secrets that are around you. I mean, how would you know unless someone told you? Even the original release came with a game guide. Like, they'd already anticipated the backlash they would get with these puzzles. And to the game's credit, when I discovered them naturally, I thought it was quite clever. But when the game goes out of its way to hide from you and hide all progression for the sake of what? Expanding the playtime? That's when you start to lose me. I feel like I've been forced to use a walkthrough just so I can play this game. Otherwise, yeah, it's a great game. But I want to learn and explore naturally. I don't want to spend my time needlessly backtracking, lost and confused on where do I go and what do I do. I managed to get 2/3 of the way through before I had to walk through the last part, and my god, I never would have figured it out. Kids had Nintendo Power for their walkthroughs back in the 80s, 90s, but we thankfully have the internet. I typically avoid Metroidvania games for just this reason, because I don't want to walk through games, but if it gives me no choice, then I feel like the game hasn't taught me enough. It hasn't told me what do I do if I get stuck. I haven't learnt the skills needed to overcome these obstacles, or there haven't been any hints that I should have noticed by now. But this is where Hollow Knight does it so much better with its game design. You can't argue that because it's an old game we should forgive it. It just sadly doesn't work like that. But, believe it or not, I actually had a lot of fun playing this game. When it went well, the game was excellent. But when it hit me with a ridiculous dead end, then I got really frustrated with it. It's a good game, and I do think it deserves to be on this list. It's one every gamer should try out to say they have actually played it. And also to see why it's important for what it did for the gaming industry and also the genre. If you want a decent modern Metroidvania game, then I'd have to steer you in the direction of Hollow Knight. It just gets everything right. It has definitely made me want to check out the other Metroid games, especially Metroid Prime on the GameCube. Maybe I can get the Wii version instead. So yeah, give it a go if you fancy a challenge, but know what you're getting yourself in for. But now that I've beaten it, I can go scratch it off the list. One down, 99 to go. Thank you so much for watching my video. If you like the video, make sure you give it a like. Feel free to also subscribe to the channel as well to see where the next 99 videos will come out. If you've played Super Metroid or you haven't, and you want to give your opinions, then please let me know in the comment section below. Either way, thank you very much for watching. My name is Rich, and I'll see you in the next video. Ta-ra!